cry. But we know no matter what, we'll always have the time to talk about the wastelands, talk about the Lord, talk about surviving radiation storms, talk about the doubts, talk about the fears, talk about the game we all love. It's Fallout through the years. That Fallout show.
Well, hi everyone, and welcome to episode 26 of That Fallout Show, our story so far, part 4. I am Rick McVick, and with us tonight is Vendertron
Welcome, sir or madam.
and Shaline. Shaline, where'd she go? I don't know. Do you have a replacement?
Maybe she's under my kitty chair, Rick.
Maybe so. Do we have? We should have a replacement. Where's Doggo?
Oh, we have a replacement. He's right here. His name is Gordy.
Gordy.
Say hi to the world.
Voting will take place after the show whether or not we will be having Gordy as our official third host. Anyway.
Yeah.
But Vendor, I'm excited for this Friday night, and
Why is that?
Because I get to hang with you and do a show.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There's
Yeah.
this thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
thing. And you can help us make this thing better by sharing us on your social media at home there. You can send us emails that we can read live here on air. You can like, subscribe, and retweet our social media postings. Tell your friend about us and host us on Twitch, etc., etc. Now, getting on with tonight, guess what we've got in store for you, folks? We've got some news, and it was kind of a hefty packed news, Fallout news-oriented few weeks. Anyway, we have a minute amount of gameplay. We've got some lore, weapon of the week, a recap of last episode's challenge, along with the new challenge. Vendor also has a bit for our Nailed It segment. And
Yes.
do we have emails? I looked. I didn't think we had any.
We've got some emails I see at the bottom of the show notes. So
Very cool.
Shaline may not be here, but she certainly put the work in.
Yes, she did. All right. So, getting on with things. We've got 5-star review shoutouts. Vendor, take it away.
Okay. I was wondering whether or not I would have time for, clink.
Oh, should we?
Little clinky, clink, clink. See, this is what happens when Shaline is not here to, look after the boys. Things get out of hand. We get a little unleashed. Also, from Great Britain, we have a 5-star review shout out from Boris the Communist. So thank you, Boris, for your 5-star review shout out. Guys, if you would like to leave us a 5-star review shout out, all you got to do is go to it's not iTunes anymore. What is it?
Is it officially not?
I don't know. I think it's something different now.
Huh.
We don't know where you should go, but if you want to leave us a 5-star review shout out, you just got to find us somewhere. We don't know where that is.
We were on iTunes. We should still be on Apple Podcasts. I think that's what it is now. It's Apple Podcasts. So go get that if you are in the Apple world. You probably already have. So leave us a review on that. We should figure out how to look at those now. I don't have an iPhone.
Yeah, it's kind of changed a little bit. I'll have to take a look. We also have some new people into the Discord. Things have gotten a little stagnant in the Discord, so we definitely invite you to come and join us in the chat after dark, as Rick likes to call it. You can find the link to the Discord by scrolling down on the left side of the Twitch page right below the stream, and that'll bring you right into the server where you can talk to everyone and all things gaming and some not so gamey topics. We have...
Make sure... Are you going to pronounce the second name correctly?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't you worry. I got it. Right. So the first person we have in the Discord is Demon Jones. Oh, yeah. You got to say it with sort of like a Jack Black kind of, While I'm channeling my inner Jack Black, we also have Tractor in the Discord. So thank you guys for joining, or gals. And we look forward to everybody who will be flooding into the Discord this week and next week as well. So yeah,
cool.
That's all I got for Discord.
Awesome. Well, we are going to get on with a little word from Mr. New Vegas. So I think we'll tackle this together. I mean, this is technically a one-girl job, and Shaline does this very well. I think the two of us will be able to falter through this pretty horribly.
Well, Shaline can do it by herself, but it definitely takes the two of us to do it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
We'll do it horribly.
Yeah.
So I think the theme of tonight's episode is don't expect much, folks.
Yeah.
So we've got a new patch. Have you played Fallout 76 recently, Vendor?
No, not. Okay. Well, we don't have a new patch yet, but it's coming.
It's coming.
Yes.
Oh, Tuesday, July 16th. If I would actually read the news article.
Yes.
Well, do you want to take this one then?
Yeah. So the new patch is coming on Tuesday, July 16th, as Rick mentioned, and it's all about summer in Appalachia. And I'm, you guys like summer, right? You can throw a great party on your camp and things like that. They're gonna have some patch notes coming out soon, but they're also interested in everybody's thoughts on the patch, and hope that we continue to let them know how we feel about updates as they go forward.
Because we haven't been vocal thus far.
Yeah. At the end of this month, you can expect a new seasonal event that will bring dwellers around Appalachia together to beat the summer heat with everyone's favorite traveling super mutant and his best pal, Chally the Moo Moo. And no, Chally's not on the menu. So
nor is she an actual Moo Moo.
Yeah, so it sounds to me like part of the quest will be throwing a great party. Some sort of summer patio kind of thing. And of course, you will be rewarded for this shindig if it is successful. So look out for more details. Bethesda mentions for everybody to kind of look out for those details as they come, including the event start date, which will happen a little bit later this month. Fallout 76 is also going to QuakeCon. QuakeCon is only 2 weeks away. And similar to last year, Fallout 70 or Bethesda will have a panel to discuss what they plan to do for the rest of the year and beyond with regards to Fallout 76. So you can expect to learn a little bit more specifically in regards to Wastelanders, the Wastelanders DLC, also some new items and content coming with Nuclear Winter, and the much anticipated upcoming vaults. So that's very exciting. But Bethesda says, if you can't make it out to Dallas this year, don't worry. You can watch the panel. It will be live streamed on various channels, including Twitch and Mixer. So nice. I'm sure, we will hear all about that, and we'll be able to share that information with you guys on the next episode, of course. And also, they are doing some community streams now with the patch notes to talk about them and what is new, to sort of feature the new content that's coming to the games. You can catch the new the community streams around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Twitch Bethesda channel. So that's all we have coming out of the patch notes from the Wasteland from Bethesda.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't played the game in a while, so I haven't noticed if anything has changed for the better or for the worse. Mainly, the reason is because Fallout 76 for me has hit this point where some games, like Destiny 2, hit where it's like you got to grind a long time to get the thing, but then what are you going to do with the thing? I'm going to do the thing that I just had been doing to grind to get the thing on. And at that point, I lose interest in the game. I mean, it happened with Destiny 2. It happened with Guild Wars. It's happening with Fallout. And for me, maybe this is going to be a good break between when Wastelanders comes out and now. You know what I mean? That way I'll have kind of a refresh. I'll enter the Wasteland with kind of like a sigh of fresh air. Well,
you bring up a good point, Rick. And I have to say the best way I enjoy playing games is by not playing them. Because I go back to Fallout 76 and I play it nonstop for maybe 4 hours and I have a great time, and then my life gets so busy and so crazy that I don't have time to look at it for another month, and then by the time I go back to it, I'm really excited. So the best way to play games is not to play them at all.
Yeah, it's such I think it's super hard for a lot of us to understand or get not even understand, but get used to Fallout 76. You know, we're so used to a certain Fallout, and Fallout 76 isn't that anymore. It's a different thing. We'll have another Fallout, I'm sure of it, but 76 is just a completely different take, and it's hard, I think. For me, I'm speaking for me to get used to it. I don't know about for everyone else, but anyway.
Yeah.
We'll find out. I will play once this patch hits on Tuesday, and we'll check it out and see how it goes. But speaking of going, I have nowhere. I'm not going anywhere with the segue. But Pete Hines did an interview. He's finally after.
Trogdor. Sorry, this is what happens.
So after E3, Pete Hines broke his silence on Twitter and also in the world of press. And I know that he did this interview. I haven't totally caught up with it too much yet, but he had kind of been... It seems to me that he was talking about the overall state of Bethesda and the company. Did you read through this article, Vendor?
Yeah, so there was a little bit of uncertainty around what content Bethesda was bringing with the E3 2019. And they didn't actually really mention any IP about Starfield, which a lot of people were a little disappointed about. But as it turned out, they did have a few cards up their sleeve with namely the new horror IP Ghostwire Tokyo from Tango Gameworks, which was I think personally an incredible partnership. I am very excited to play Ghostwire Tokyo. That is probably my most anticipated game for coming out of E3.
Yeah.
But
Outer Worlds.
Pete Hines, yes, Outer Worlds. Pete Hines also said it's not really mandated in either direction. It's about what do you want to make and what does it line up with. We didn't go to ZeniMax Online Studios and say you need to make a Commander Keen game, figure it out. They said, hey, nobody is doing anything with Commander Keen. We have an idea. Can we do this? And here's what it would be. So they came up with several, sort of innovative ideas to come about with new content. One of the things that they are committed to is their partnership with Nintendo. And so the support that they have for Switch looks pretty dramatic, I think. Compared to previous years. I think that part of it has to do with the platform itself. But Pete Hines said one of the things we discovered in talking with Nintendo is that there's a segment of their audience who plays on other kinds of things on their platform that also likes our stuff. And there's a segment of their audience, and it's a healthy size, whose entry point is into the platform is our title. And so they're hoping that that people will be able to see Doom or Skyrim, or if somebody's got a Switch, that they decide to play a game, one of Bethesda's games, before anything else. So that was kind of one of their goals in forming that relationship with Nintendo. But I just want to read this little part of that Pete had mentioned. He said, it's interesting to see. It definitely fits an audience that Nintendo already has, but it's also clear that we are bringing some new people to Switch. I met a guy yesterday who said that the first things they bought on Switch were Doom, Wolfenstein, and Skyrim, because they are sort of the thing they wanted. And the fact that they were on Switch made them get a Switch. So there's definitely opportunity for partnership there. And so they talked a little bit also about adding some VR elements to some of their games as well. But coming out of this, it's just more, really, I think it's a PR stunt than anything. But yeah.
I totally see what they're saying about bringing some people to Switch. I mean, when Skyrim was out at first, like before we had sunk in thousands of hours into this game, how many times did you catch yourself saying, like, I want to lay in bed right now and play Skyrim if you had a couch console like I did. And I think the Switch is a brilliant gimmick. It is a gimmick, but it's a brilliant gimmick in the sense that it actually works as advertised, And countless times I've seen my wife in bed playing the Switch, and it's just something that works, I guess you could say. It just works. The Switch just works. And and it's cool. You can take it places, and then I think they're right. They're hitting this little niche, that this on the go kind of idea. What I don't know is if there's cross save, like is it cross save like Skyrim?
I don't know
Oh.
for certain.
Because that would be
Yeah.
cool. Like if I could take my Xbox character onto Switch. I don't know if that's how that works, but anyway. But yeah, they are
Yeah, I'm not
committing
sure.
pretty heavily to mobile and Switch. It seems as of late with Commander Keen and Fallout. And,
One of
Elder
the other things
Scrolls.
that they're trying to experiment with is cloud streaming. So Bethesda has
Who
been
isn't these
developing,
days?
and right. Bethesda is developing their own tech. It's called Orion, which Pete also had commented on. He said, he's a little bit cautious on the potential of cloud streaming for Bethesda, only because they're uncertain whether or not they'll be able to, unlock a huge audience that uses cloud-based streaming. So we'll see how that goes. I honestly don't know. It has to be really good. It has to be better than anything I've ever owned for me to use it.
Yeah. No, really.
And
it
I'll
does.
tell you something. That's what Netflix did. They made watching TV better than any other thing that I had in the house for watching TV. And that's so if they can do that with cloud streaming, then they've got it. But it does look very interesting, though.
Yeah, up until this point, cloud streaming hasn't been anything fancy or worth my time.
Yeah.
But
So-
I guess we're gonna find out. I mean, especially with all these companies really getting into it, I guess we're gonna find out.
Yeah, so Bethesda, they're being a little cautious. You know who is also telling Bethesda to be a little cautious, Rick?
Who?
Sean Murray from Hello
Really?
Games, the creator of No Man's Sky. So he put out an interview earlier last week with Games Radar, and he talked about the keynote panel that he presented on at the 2019 developer conference in Brighton, UK. And he talked about how he was faced with a lot of the barriers and challenges and difficulties that came with the release of No Man's Sky in 2016. And Sean said, we went about 2 years without talking to the press at all. And we went about 3 months without saying anything to the community either. That was really hard, he said. And he said, I sat down so many times and I wrote the perfect blog post that was going to explain everything about the game's development and the roadmap going ahead. But I could see that it did not hold credibility with regards to where we were at as a company. And then he commented that there have been a number of games that have come out that have had rather rocky launches, like Anthem, Fallout 76, Sea of Thieves, and he recommends that they sort of take a page from his book and kind of reduce the amount of interaction with the community and with the press in order to get their games off on a better foot. And so I thought that this was kind of an interesting article. It was really cool that he kind of broke the silence in that and told his story about No Man's Sky, because I really think personally, I love No Man's Sky. I think it's a great game. I liked it at the start. I liked it where it's come to. And I like that he kind of is able to confidently share that story. But yeah, what do you think?
I can see where he's coming at with this, and my only concern, or there was a lot of fibbing going on at the release of No Man's Sky that ended up not being in the game that was released, and I know that was part of the controversy. So I can kind of see where he's coming from, with the sense that if we put out a mistake, you can't necessarily explain it away super easily because no one's just going to care. However, you can redeem yourself, which they totally did. No Man's Sky is great now. But I don't think it excuses this bait and switch maneuver that a lot of companies do, starting with early release trailers where, look at the graphics on this guy. And then the game comes out, and you're like, where'd them graphics go? They went somewhere. Where'd they go?
Yeah.
There's one or few less polygons than you showed me at the beginning. And I think, from what I was reading in the Reddit comments and stuff like that, people were more concerned with that aspect than the silence. They're like, we don't, people were just like, we just care that they lied.
Mm-hmm.
And then no one's saying anything about that anymore. Like, nobody apologized for it. And even Fallout, even Bethesda had some fibs. I don't remember what they were at the time, but I remember them vividly when the game launched. So, but in Bethesda's defense, they did come out and say, we're sorry. And, but I totally get where he's coming from. And there's some truth to what he's saying as far as staying silent and fixing things.
Well, I feel like a lot of PR in game development is a lot like politics, in that they don't tell you what isn't there. And so you kind of just find out, which is a bad thing.
Yeah.
I feel like if PR departments in game companies were a little bit more forthcoming with what expectations people could have, I think that would, make things a lot more transparent. But
you know how PR, like human resources or maybe certain divisions or certain companies have like mottos on their wall, like when you walk into the building, they're like, "There's our daily motto,"
like a vision or a mission statement, or
tomorrow, today, like that sort of thing.
Playing great games badly.
Yes, exactly. Like I feel like, and there's some truth in this. I feel like every human resource department or PR department should have the same slogan. And that slogan is, every day when you walk in above the door, it would just say, "Damned if you do, damned if you don't."
Yeah, I'm all for the cynical outlook on futures and things. Yes. I mean, how else do you channel your inner post-apocalyptic sort of persona?
Well, it's true too. Like you could put out the best game in the world, and there will be people who hate it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Speaking of post-apocalyptic personas,
nice.
We have a Fallout 76 Beggar, you guys. A Fallout 76 gamer by the name of Andres Lamantis, a 36-year-old from Argentina, is taking it upon himself to become Fallout 76 first NPC. Played by, a real human being. So he basically tested out a special build where he could not meaningfully craft, mod, or scavenge anything. And basically part of this RP character that he developed was that he was a beggar, he wore tattered clothes, and he just filled the persona perfectly. And he set up shop in the Flatwoods, and he would coax other players to visit his camp as by putting a sign up that said "free hugs."
Nice.
In front of his little cot with his fire and little burning trash fire and things. I think this is fantastic. And do you remember the guy outside Rivet City that would always ask for water?
You're
right?
Like, "Sir, I've gotten you a tanker full of water," and he was like, "Water, I need more." And like, "You have a tanker, sir."
Yeah.
Of water.
Now I think this is a great idea, but like, what does this guy do in the meantime that nobody comes to his camp? Does he just sit there and wait?
Yep.
Does he just like talk to himself? Like, I don't know.
Maybe he's thoroughly gotten crazy. "Show me potato salad."
So one of the players actually that ran into Andres Lamantis recalls that he stopped by his camp and asked how he could help, and offered up maybe some guns or some armor. And with an emote, Andre basically asked for a weapon, and the player went on to furnish him with a custom shotgun.
Nice.
Just for him. So I think that's super cool. Yeah, that's kind of neat. Mm-hmm. I wonder what kind of loot he's getting, and if people are looking for him now. He's the new trash can Carla. So yeah, I think that's fantastic. I hope that this kind of opens up the gateway for other players to follow suit and do the same thing. But Internet Mom in the chat is asking what platform. We're not sure. The article doesn't allude to whether or not he's on PC or PS4. But I'm sure if you search Andres Lamantis on Twitter or something like that, you could find his handle. And this article comes from Polygon. So
nice.
Yeah, I think that's super cool. I kind of want to do that. But
I like the fact that there are people out there acting as NPCs in the game.
Yeah, I mean, like, what if you wanted to be like a killer?
Or if you wanted someone dead.
Oh, yeah, that would be a great idea. You could be like a dog, you know?
Dog, the bounty hunter?
Yeah. Rick, come on. You got to work with me here.
I planned that.
We're breaking the fourth wall.
Well, if you wanted someone dead or wanted to kill someone for money, you can. There are people who are acting as bounty hunters and will kill anyone you want for a prize. And the picture that this article uses is great. It's a clown costume guy with the long nose thing, the Foshnut mask, and the Deathclaw gauntlet that has blood all over it. Apparently, there's a clan going around. They call themselves the Talos Company. Apparently, let's see here. They killed someone and took a picture of it, and they collected 4,000 caps for that. Every kill is documented apparently on their Twitter account, and they call themselves the Talon Company of Appalachia, which is pretty freaking cool if you ask me.
So, if the bounty hunters are listening to the show, do you offer a discount for podcasters? Because I don't think I've ever had 4,000 caps in the history of playing Fallout 76 ever. And I just can't afford that kind of thing. You know, I live in the slums. So, can you get me a deal?
The group, what?
How much would they charge me to like take out Shaline in game?
I'll bet you they're like, there's no price high enough where we would take her out. The group's brainchild is Christopher Wright, who got the idea after he was thrown out of another Enclave-themed clan around January, and he says, quote, "My first act was placing a bounty on the guy who kicked me out. This act of rebellion apparently got attention, and soon the group blew up to include over 200 members. Apparently anyone can join, so if you're interested, maybe it's like the Dark Brotherhood. You have to kill someone, and they're like, we know."
Yeah. Huh.
So yeah, I mean, it's like, think about it. Think about trying to kill someone in this game. It's survival, right? So they have to be on a survival server now, and you got to server hop to find them. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. Yeah.
It'd be tough.
I mean, what kind of faction would we start? Like Shaline, it would be like fashion,
Fashion faction?
Yeah, a fashion faction. I wish she was here.
We're the faction that doesn't do anything. We just stay home and lie
around. We make you look pretty.
I don't know, man. I feel like we'd be like the good, like, not the Brotherhood of Steel, but more honestly, I feel like we'd be like the Minutemen.
The Minutemen.
Yeah, because like, think about it. Someone's like, they need your help, and I'll save you, and there we go, trompsing off in our power armor to do good in the wasteland. And I feel like that's what we would probably end up doing, like just helping people. There's some random person, I don't know, the merry band of do-goody-good-do-gooders is what I would call us. So, I don't know, man. But that's pretty cool. Apparently there's somebody for everything in that game.
Yeah. I haven't played enough to really experience it, but I hope that I run into some people. I've ran into some random people. I also ran into a listener who...
I've never run into one of those.
Yeah, who goes by the name of Doa. And then they were like, "Oh my God, you're Megatron!" It was great. yeah,
You're
Shaline
the
and I
vendor,
took pictures. It was this thing, and yeah, guys, keep the signs. Keep your signs up.
Yep.
I still have to make a sign.
Me too.
I don't have enough caps. I spent it all on wallpaper.
I spend mine on fast traveling.
Oh man. Speaking of spending money, you guys,
Ooh,
you can
spend it
get one
all.
heck of a deal on the Fallout 76 Pip-Boy 2000 Mark 6
Yes.
self-assembly construction kit
It's not bad.
through GameStop. American, it is selling for $59.99, regular $100, and I don't know how much that is Canadian. It's probably about $678.94. But if you haven't got yourself a Pip-Boy and you're looking to get one and build it and put it together and have all the fun and do the cosplays, go and pick yourself up a fresh new Pip-Boy at GameStop. Those are available for... It doesn't say.
$99.
It doesn't say.
Or no, that's
No. It doesn't. I'm just wondering like how long the sale is on for, but it doesn't actually say. So
it doesn't matter how long this. It doesn't matter how long the sale is for if you go get it now.
Yeah,
well, not now.
go get
After
it
the
now.
show. After the show.
Yeah.
But that being said, I have that Pip-Boy.
Yeah, and you paid full price for it. Yeah.
No, I got it for Christmas. And I can say that it took me 3 hours to build. So
I might actually. There's an EB Games not too far from where I'm house sitting right now.
Yeah.
And I might go take a gander. Hopefully they're not sold out.
I go to Gander Mountain for my ganders.
But like $60 US is actually like $90. It's like $90 Canadian. So I don't know how much money I'm actually saving.
Yeah, I don't know. It was fun. It's in the attic right now because I'm out of space in my studio. So.
Oh.
Is it in my attic? I don't know where it's at. No, it's down there on the shelf. Anyway. But I mean that's not the only bargain one can have, right?
No, not at all.
I mean
there's Atomic Shop bargains.
The whole thing was a lead-in.
Yeah, I got it. I was just like letting the music roll for a little bit, because it's so good.
Yes.
You can't interrupt it.
This is like Chopin or Bach wrote this.
Yeah. So guys, with patch 10.5, there's some new items in sales as of July 9th. You can pick up a QuakeCon Atom bundle, which kicks off the QuakeCon event. In celebration of QuakeCon, of course, which offers 1,000 plus 500 bonus atoms and several other bonus items, including the Revolutionary General's uniform, also the 6 basic repair kits, which are added to the next character you log in with after purchasing the bundle, of course. There are also some free items that you can take advantage of. Show off your newest camp creation with the latest Scorch Piece hunt or the glorious Appalachian scenery with this new showcase photo mode pose. Woohoo! So you can cash in on that. That's available until July 16th. Items that are leaving the shop soon include the Mothman Power Armor Paint, which is available for 980 atoms, available till July 16th, as well as the Garahan Extractor Power Armor Paint, the Tour Guide Outfit, Survivalist Outfit, Clean Clown Suit, the Flapper Dress Set, Cappy Shirt and Jeans, Unstoppable Stash Box, West Virginia Billboards, the Mothman Billboards, the Aviator Fat Man Paint, Robco Trucker Hat, Tropical Suits, Mothman Bed, and Vault Tech Patio Table. Those are all available until July 16th. So
I wish that the Mothman Power Armor paint set came with like little wee wings on the back of said power armor.
Tiny little ones.
You walk around, they flutter around.
Returning items to the Atomic Shop, you can expect to see the Coal Dust Excavator Power Armor Paint, which will be returning for 800 atoms, as well as the Silver Excavator Power Armor Paint, But they're also going to have some new items coming down the pipeline, and that includes Camo Ops Under Armor, a new billboard set. So get your TFS letters ready, guys, because we expect some new signs. Also, a photo mode pose bundle, Fez with tassel.
Oh,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
yes.
Yeah. Also, the Nuka-Cola neon billboard set and Slocum Joe's neon billboard set. How exciting is that? And even more shocking, they're only 300 atoms each. That's pretty awesome. You can also go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I was expecting them to be like, $50 a piece.
Yeah. You can also expect a new item, the Crocolosis plushie for 200 atoms. And I just want to reiterate and clarify that the photo mode pose bundle includes the following new poses: a camp photo mode pose, confidence photo mode pose, I've got to see that one, point to the sky pose, gunslinger, and thinking photo mode pose, which I assume is something like this probably. The following items were added with the previous update and are still available in the Atomic Shop: Rootin' Tootin' Cowboy outfit, Star Ops Under Armor, Hootenanny overalls, Stars and Stripes dress, American hard case backpack skin, the American flag set, the American flag Pip-Boy paint, the American flag bed, Freedom Stars neon sign, patriotic Nuka Shine hat, Stars and Stripes headband, Stars and Stripes wood chair, as well as the American flag banner. So that is everything that's going down in the Atomic Shop. Don't forget to check your Atomic Shop daily for free items. Those usually are not listed with the Atomic Shop updates. So make sure you keep an eye out for those.
I wonder if there's someone out there who owns everything that they've offered.
It's probably Arjun. I mean, let's be honest.
That's true. I just was thinking about that. I wonder if there's someone out there who owns all of the things.
Yeah.
But anyway. All right. So that's it for Ballistic Bargains. Let's go ahead and get into our gameplay. And that was my gameplay for this week. Vendor, how about you?
Wow. This is really bad. Guys, I finished the challenge in the Follow cookbook. So cue the photos. Cue the photos, Rick.
Oh, right.
So this is the okay, there it goes.
You said cue the photos.
That's good. So I made the Mississippi quantum pie.
Mississippi Queen.
And so here is, I had to make the I was okay. So we'll just roll through these. It's fine.
No, it's fine.
It was a little tricky, so I had to take these cookies and weigh them, and then I had to put them in a blender to crush them up. And then I crushed them up, and I added some walnuts. You can see the walnuts there on the top. Which I was a little worried the fudge in the cookies would make it like goopy, but it actually was dry, so I wasn't worried at all. So that made the crust. So I had to like form the crust in the tin, which you can see there. That was really hard to do because I don't feel like the recipe calls for enough butter. Victoria, I love you, but I think that this definitely probably needs some more butter. Or maybe I just didn't measure properly. That's probably it. So that was a little challenging. And then I had to make the filling for the pie. And this is where things kind of went south. So I have this measuring cup, and it's one of those measuring cups that has like a plastic sleeve that goes over the measuring cup, and it's like reversible. So there's different graduations. So it calls for 2/3 heavy cream.
Do you realize that on Amazon you can get like a nice aluminum metal measuring cup set for probably pennies on the dollar?
I have a nice aluminum metal cup set, but for whatever reason, I decided to use the crappy Pampered Chef one, and it was just a disaster.
Pampered Chef is overrated. There, I said it.
Yeah. So instead of 2/3 cup of heavy cream, I added 1 2/3 cup of heavy cream. And as you can see here, the pudding actually, it thickened. It thickened and it looked really nice. The cocoa sort of emulsified and it just blended in really nicely. And I was still able to actually make the pie. which is
So there's
so
it
I'm
is going
filling. So the pudding, look, it looks thick. It looks like thick chocolate,
thick.
But I was thinking at this point, like, I think that I measured this wrong. I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow when I take it out of the fridge, because you have to let it sit overnight.
Oh.
So the pudding, you know how pudding is, right?
Yeah.
Or like Jello.
It's got to get hard.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, anyways, yeah. So then I made the icing. I think I nailed the icing, you guys. Absolutely nailed the icing. If you look at the picture, it's like a bright blue. It's almost perfect match in color to the picture. So I definitely think I nailed that.
Did you check that RGB? Did you check that CYMK?
Stop it. I didn't actually use food coloring. I used gel fondant color dye because it doesn't run. But
these colors don't run.
Yeah, yeah. So, and here's the final product. So there it is. It looks beautiful. Look at it. Look at it. It looks beautiful, right?
I want to eat it.
I gotta say, it was delicious. But you have to eat it frozen. Because the pudding is a little runny. So hashtag nailed it. Yeah, it didn't quite turn out the way I wanted it to. And if you look really closely, the bottom of the cake pan, the spring pan, is still on the cake. Because the pudding was still runny and I didn't want to lift it off because it would just fall apart. So
it looks quite rad.
It was delicious. I have to say, though, that the pudding was a little bit too sweet for me.
Oh, yeah.
I probably would have gone to the store. I would probably substitute it with just a regular, like, already pre-made pudding that you could just buy at the store because they're not as sweet. But
I that's why I don't like fudge, Like,
yeah,
I want to like fudge, but it's just like all the sugar in the face.
So the next thing in the book, here we go. I'm going to pick a random page. Oh, no. Radgull Power Noodles.
Oh, no.
So this is what I have to... yeah, over here. Radgull Power Noodles. That's what I got to make. It looks pretty good. Going to have to get my hands on some duck. And there's a lot of shiitake mushrooms. Oh boy. Difficulty medium. Okay, I gotta say, the difficulty on the quantum mud pie is set to easy. It wasn't easy.
Nani shimashuka?
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have this for sure. This is gonna be so good.
Nani shimashuka?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so that's it. In 2 weeks, I will report back on the Radgull Power Noodles and let you guys know.
Oh, Radgull, like seagull, gull?
Yeah, like a seagull. Yeah.
Oh,
because
so that's
duck.
where the duck comes in. Well,
it's
why
duck.
not just nab a seagull?
Why don't they just call it Rad Duck?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've had bad duck before. They don't sear the fat right, and it's just.
Yeah, duck is hard to cook. It's hard to cook. It's better in soups, in my opinion.
I had it with like a cranberry glaze thing.
Canadian geese. I've had Canadian geese as well. Yeah. A lot. El Yankee 69 in the chat says, how about Canadian geese? Canadian geese is good. It's a little bit drier. It's drier than duck. Duck is more fatty.
Yeah.
So.
Duck's got a nice like layer of fat over the thing. I wanted to ask you, I watched a show once where they made some sort of like beaver soup and they used the beaver's blood to make the gravy.
I think that's illegal.
Well, now.
I don't think you can hunt beavers here.
Well, hopefully they don't watch anything with Anthony Bourdain because that's what it was on. Well, that was, is it per Providence? Because I think this was probably in Quebec.
Oh, well, they're kind of Quebecois, yeah. They're kind of crazy over there.
Someone says in chat, they're from Montana, and if you'll get a fine and jail time if you kill a Canadian goose. Is it like an international murder?
Really?
I don't know, but apparently.
That's incredibly ironic because you can hunt Canadian geese here. In fact, they want you to hunt them because they're like taking over the marshes and like ruining the marshes. Anyways, that's enough for Ducks Unlimited and National Geographic.
MR Ducks.
That's the rest of pretty much my gameplay. I haven't had much time because I've been writing my thesis like a madman. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Well, it's been a challenge to play this game, but some of you have actually played it for us and fulfilled the challenge that we've set forth in last episode. So let's go ahead and do this quick recap. Here we go. The last challenge was about building a shrine to the perfect holy pie, and three of you answered the call. Unlooted Vault says, as soon as we can place items, my pie is going up here. Welcome to the Church of Pie. Wait a minute, you guys picked a challenge that you can't even do?
I know. So on the last episode, we asked you to build a shrine of the perfectly preserved pie, realizing that you can't drop items in Fallout 76. But Thin if you're listening, please allow us to drop items in Fallout 76. So we had tweeted out following that we did a dumb and challenging you guys further to find innovative ways to worship the holy pie. And so this is what Unlooted Vault has come up with. They say, as soon as we can place items, my pie is going up here. Welcome to the Church of Pie.
I love the Lovecraftian thing he's got going on here, because the cult theme throughout the Fallout games here.
Where did he get that pillar, and what is the background? Is that just wall pieces?
Yeah, I think the background is just it's an opening.
Oh, it's great.
Perfectly framed for the perfect pie. I would have laughed if people just left the little like poopy doggy bag thing that you drop when you drop items.
I'm surprised we didn't get any pictures like that. But
so he used Fallout 4, and he used a bunch of, this is great. So Captain Bones sticks to perfect preserved pie in the center. Oh, it's so good. Vendor, you there? Vendor? My audio went crazy. Anyway, where'd you lose me at?
Oh, I got you. You said something about Captain Bones.
Yes, Captain Bones took the yardsticks and made a pentagram and then placed the perfectly preserved pie in the center of said pentagram.
It's just brilliant. That's brilliant.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a work of art.
Captain Bones, always delivering.
Sorry about the reference to some show you've never heard of.
Okay, so Alex made a video of the last holy pie or perfectly preserved pie challenge as part of that show that shall not be named, and posted that or reposted that as his entry. And it's pretty good. If you guys search TFS challenge and you find Alex's tweet, check it out, because it's actually pretty awesome. He takes you on a little tour of the shrine. But I just took a quick screenshot of the video because we don't really have time to play it. But thank you, Alex, for your entry, and for everybody who entered into the challenge. We know it wasn't an easy one, so
nice. So thank you, everyone who has entered that challenge for us. It was only 3 of you, but we love all 3 of you very dearly.
Yeah.
So yeah, Vendor. I'm going to not the news. Okay, so I'm gonna do a thing. Anyway, you go ahead and tell the listeners what next week's challenge is. Okay.
Well, guys, it's summer. It's summer in Appalachia. Why are you?
What?
Why are you singing? I'm doing a thing.
I know. I'm singing to put a background bed to lead into your.
Oh, Sheryl Crow. I get it.
See,
yeah.
You ruined it now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Channel your inner Sheryl Crow and soak up the sun with this glorious next challenge. It's terrible. It's so bad. It's summer in Appalachia, as you guys know, with the new patch coming, and so you decide to take a road trip out to the beach for the day We want you to share a glimpse of the good life as you catch some rays on the sunny shores in Fallout 76. Make sure that you submit your challenge entries with the hashtag TFS Challenge on Twitter, and we will share them on the next episode of That Fallout Show.
I don't think you know a lot about American geography.
I know, but there's lakes, Rick. There's lakes. There's
like
no
what?
ocean, but there's still beaches. I live on a beach in Appalachia. You used to be my neighbor, and
I
then you
still am.
moved.
No, I didn't move. It's a
I thought
different
you moved.
No, different character.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, right.
I'm like, West Virginia's landlocked, man.
I know, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy summer.
Yes, it's true.
I better see those summer dresses, you guys.
The flapper
wanna
dresses.
see- Yeah, I want to see the flapper dresses, and I want to see all of the things. Have a great picnic on the beach. It's going to be great. I'm excited.
Did you let people know how they could submit?
Yeah. As I mentioned, hashtag TFS Challenge. Submit it on Twitter. Make sure you include the hashtag, or we'll miss it, and it won't go in to the next episode.
Awesome. Sorry, answering a work text real quick, and then back on air because we're live. Hi, everybody.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, so let's get on to our lore. Like 50 weeks ago, I think last year, we started this thing where we were like going through a synopsis of synopsis of the stories of the Fallout games. We're going in order of 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to do the offshoot games as well. So tonight we're going to do part 4, which is in fact Fallout 4. If you haven't played Fallout 4, spoilers ahead, but the game came out in 2015 or something. I don't know, it was years ago, so get with it. Anyway. All right, so Fallout 4 scene starts out in 2077 in your home in Sanctuary Hills with your wife and child, or if you're playing the female, your husband. But either way, you start out with your spouse and child. Comes a rapping at the door. It's the Vault Tech rep, and he gets you registered for the Vault in case of the bombs that do fall within the first 10 minutes of the game. You enter Vault 111 along with a few other survivors, and you were then taken to these pods that they say are decompression chambers, I think. And it's not ominous at all with the smoke coming out, and they're like, yes, these are safe, they're fine. They give you the Vault 111 suit, and you put that on in front of everybody somehow, just put it on. And then you say goodbye to your spouse and your son, Sean. And you then step inside the cryo chamber and go down for nappy poo. You awaken during your nappy poo to find that there's a few scientists, I think there's 2, and a gun thug who have thought out your spouse's cryopod, and they're trying to pry your child out of her cold, alive fingers. And she struggles to keep the child, and she's saying, no, and then bang! The gun thug shoots her, and they take your child, and you fall back asleep. There's an error somehow in the system, and you wake up, and you get out of your cryopod. You can check on your spouse if you want, but the purpose is you leave the vault. Everyone is dead inside the vault, and you are then the sole survivor. And that name follows you around like the plague. Anyway, you exit the vault, you head to Sanctuary Hills, and you find your old house, and everything has been kind of dilapidated due to time, but you don't know this at the time. But anyway, you find your old house, and you find Codsworth, your Mr. Handy Butler. He tells you that 210 years have passed, and that there were some survivors in Lexington who might be able to help find Sean. On the way to Lexington, you find Dogmeat, if you want to. He's at the Red Rocket gas station, just south. Where's that, north? South of Sanctuary Hills. And if you pick him up, let's just say in this case, in this playthrough, you pick up Dogmeat. So you and Dogmeat head to Lexington to find said survivors, only to find Preston Garvey and the Minutemen holed up in a building being attacked by raiders. You then help defeat said raiders, defeat the Deathclaw that happens, and you take the survivors of the remnants of the Minutemen and head up to Sanctuary Hills to build anew. They let you know that Diamond City is the place to be,
and that you should go down there to start looking for your son. So you head down to Diamond City, which is where which was built inside the ruins of Fenway Park, and outside of Diamond City, you meet Piper, and she runs the local paper and is currently investigating recent disappearances of people. She blames the Institute, and like sprinkled throughout, if you didn't get to Diamond City right away, you started hearing rumblings of the Institute were kind of like the bump in the night, if you will, of factions in this game. So the rumors were confirmed that people believe that the Institute is taking people and replacing them with synths, and you can't tell the difference between them. You begin to suspect the Institute of kidnapping your child. So with the help of Nick Valentine, who is a synth detective, you discover that the killer / the kidnapper was named Kellogg. Kellogg has taken your kid, and he has gone and put him in the Institute. Let's see here. You find that Kellogg is holed up in Fort Hagen, and you say, "Hey, man, get your damn hands off him," referring to your kid. And he's like, "I don't have your kid. He's with the Institute, and you can't get him back." And so you kill him, as you do. I personally like to take a fat man down into that place when I confront him, and it's just like, he's like, "Bring it." And it's all over. Anyway. Once you leave Fort Hagen after defeating Kellogg and you take part of his brain, this big giant Zeppelin comes in, and it's the Brotherhood of Steel arriving on cue, and they are now a part of the game itself. You take the part of Kellogg's brain to the memory den along with Nick Valentine, and you walk through his brain, and you discover that your child is definitely in the Institute. He was taken there. And the only way to get in is through like some sort of teleportation device, and that a scientist named Virgil has defected from the Institute, and that's your only way in. So you know that Virgil is in the glowing sea, so you travel there, and you get him to tell you how you can teleport into the Institute. After you retrieve a chip and decode it with the help of the Railroad, Virgil provides the blueprints for a teleportation device, which the sole survivor constructs with allying with the Brotherhood of Steel, Minutemen, or Railroad. You don't have to align with all of them. You have to pick one of them. But it is possible to help the Minutemen out, use the Railroad to find Virgil, and then use the Brotherhood to build the teleportation device, creating a menage a trois of faction involvement. The sole survivor enters the Institute, and you discover that the head of the Institute was, in fact, your son.
Dun, dun, dun.
Next week on Jerry Springer. Anyway, Sean is much, much older than you because the timelines of getting frozen and such. But he was taken to the Institute because his DNA was perfect. He was not mutated. He was a pre-war DNA string, and it was unmutated, so that's why they wanted him. Why in the world they just couldn't, like, suck a vial out, I don't know. Anyway, he invites you to join the Institute, and if you do, he reveals that he's dying of cancer, and you're to become his successor, and you are to rid the Commonwealth of the other remaining factions, being the Brotherhood of Steel, Railroad, and the Minutemen. If you side with the Institute, you do, in fact, become the successor, and you do eliminate the rest of the factions. If you side with either the Railroad or the Brotherhood of Steel, you will detonate the nuclear reactor of the Institute, and you will, like, take out a huge chunk of the map, which is quite beautiful to watch. Also, if you did side with the Minutemen, you will wipe out the last remaining hostile faction. There are different ways to play the cards, so where I think most of the factions survive. I, however, am not that tactful, and a lot of people die in my playthroughs, including one freaking cat. Anyway, Damien Hume in the chat says, "Wouldn't Sean be younger than you?" Yeah, I mean, you would think so, but the problem is when you were put in like cryostasis. So Sean was taken, and then you were put in cryostasis for almost probably 50 years or so, maybe 60 years. So therefore, Sean would be 60 years old, but you're still in stasis. Therefore, you're maybe only a year or two older, depending on how that works with your internal clock and slowing down and all that stuff. Anyway, so that's Fallout 4 in a nutshell. Who'd you side with, Vendor?
I sided with, first time around, I sided with the Railroad. And then the second time around, I sided with the Institute.
Oh, cool.
And then the third time around, I sided with the Minutemen. And then the fourth time around, I didn't side with anybody. So I didn't actually finish.
What was your favorite ending?
My favorite ending was probably the Institute.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they were corrupt and it was terrible. But yeah, robots.
It's funny. This is kind of like the Fable 3 kind of ending where, if you remember, did you ever play Fable 3?
No.
Okay, so
No.
they sorry.
Did you freeze?
Nope, we're good. Hold on one second. There we go. All right. So what happens is in Fallout 3, in Fable 3, you play as the brother to the king, and the king is corrupt. So you lead a revolution to take over, and then basically as you take over, he's like, "Hey, by the way, an evil horde of death is coming that you cannot stop unless you raise a lot of money to build an army and build armaments and take it out. And this is why I've been such a jerk, just trying to raise money to defeat this evil. So it's on you now, buddy. See ya."
Yeah.
And then after that, you have the choice of whether or not of doing these like things to get a lot of money, which you're seeing in the people's eyes as evil, or you can do the nice thing and not get as much money anyway. The Institute definitely has more of a long-term plan for like the betterment of mankind, but they're just doing it in such a horrible way. And I can certainly see why the Institute is a lucrative or an alluring choice, because you know that things are going to be better in the long run, but it's just such an evil way of having at it. Whereas like if the Brotherhood of Steel will always cause conflict, the Minutemen will always cause conflict, and same thing with the Railroad.
Yeah.
So it's a whole thing. And my first playthrough, I ended with the Institute because I thought I could change things. No. And then I did the Brotherhood of Steel ending, and I never did anything else. I've only beat the game twice. So anyway, that's lore for this evening. And then on
that's great.
Yeah, so anyway, on to the weapon of the week, and we have Old Reliable. It's a unique weapon that was added in Far Harbor, and it is a modified version of the lever action rifle. It's modified in the fact that it fires 2 projectiles at once, but the travel is 1 bullet. Fully upgraded, it does 200 damage, and if you combine it with sneak attack bonuses, it will actually do a little over 700 damage, becoming quite a very powerful weapon. It's sold by Degen.
I don't know. It sounds like some sort of insurance company.
Degen, it's sold by Degen in Arcadia, and the reload. And this is the funny thing: the reload animation is bugged, and will always show you reloading 5 rounds, even if you only fired off 1.
Oh, that sounds like a bug that carried over into Fallout 76.
Yep, I think they did fix that though in 76. I'm not quite sure.
They did.
Yeah.
Actually, the Old Reliable is the reason why I love the lever action so much.
I do also enjoy the lever action, and Internet Mom in the chat said she hasn't finished Far Harbor. Do it. It is so good. It is.
Far Harbor is the best.
It's the best.
Okay, so this is what you have to do on Longfellow's Island. You gotta build use those train car pieces and build yourself like a sea can home overlooking the ocean on the beach. It's like the best camp I have ever built in a Fallout series ever. It's glorious. And you open the sliding door and all you see is ocean.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I built on the island in the main map, that big island out on the East Coast there. Yeah, I built there.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But anyway, so that was the weapon of the week. And on to emails. Vendor, do you want to take the first one?
I sure do, Rick. This first one comes from... Who does it come from? Adson. It's they say, "Hey guys, I just got Fallout 76 on PS4 and have been listening to you guys ever since Fallout blah, blah, blah. Always use the proper name for things. Fear of a name increases the fear of the thing itself," said Dumbledore. It's Dumbledore. "I've only 2 hours into Fallout 76 and it works. I had butterflies. I was so excited when I loaded it up. No glitches or problems so far. I've met two online fellow wanderers, given guns and assurance from one and ignored by another, but none have shot at me, which is awesome. I have one criticism. The game does feel a bit empty. But I had an idea for content for your show. I'd love to know a few things about the game. For example, character build tips. Tips for building. Do we want to go through these one by one?
I think no. I would like to break these down later in a different show. I would like to do some good breakdowns and tips and things.
Sure, we'll add this as a segment. Character build tips, tips for camp building, good combinations when modding guns. How's the perk system work? I just want to pick locks and back terminals. Fun side quests, tips, cooking and making supplies, as well as making good armor with ease. And they say, I understand you guys are super busy, but I think this could add some great value to your show. Thank you so much, Adson. Well, that's awesome. We're definitely going to add that to the show notes.
Yep. Thank you for writing the show for us.
Yeah. Guys, write into the show. We love this kind of stuff.
Make it better. Anyway, second email we have here. Hello, Shaline, Vendor, and Rick. Why am I last? Anyway, my name's first on the marquee.
You're last, but you're certainly not least.
Well, the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. It's Secco. I gotta say that right, or else it sounds like Sicko. Hello, it's Secco2 here. I listen to your podcasts on Spotify during my work hours, and it is a pleasure week after week to know about gaming news and specifically about the Fallout world. I'm a surgeon. No, he's not a surgeon. Your interactions and group dynamic is great and genuine. Well, I added that because he listens to it during his work hours, and if he was like a surgeon, it'd be really bad.
Well, I can attest that there are surgeons that listen to podcasts in the OR.
I swear, if I was going under...
At least where I work, there are surgeons that listen to podcasts and music and Netflix in the OR.
I'm just saying, like, if I'm going under and I hear that opening beat of, well, you can tell by the way I walk, I'm a woman's man. I'm just going to be like, oh, no. You know, and then it would not be good. Anyway. So so Fallout 4 was my first Fallout game, and I played the crap out of it for months. It was great. I was hooked since that nuke near miss when descending into Vault 111. Since then, I played 3 and New Vegas because I couldn't get enough of it. That's amazing that he went back and played the OGs and got through them because they are not easy to go back to. They're really not easy to go back to.
New Vegas, I could definitely go back to again.
Yeah, 3 is tough to go back to.
3 is tough.
Going after those Keller tapes was a slog, man.
Yeah.
And I still have like graphical issues in New Vegas, no matter how many times I reinstall that damn game. So anyway, I bought 76 right after it came out, and it is a different but same Fallout game. My playstyle is walking through the roads and woods, savoring the colors and the sounds, and enjoying every stop and every place because each one is unique and looks like a labor of love by the developers. The most far I've been in all these months is the Pin, and I'm doing the Belching Betty quest. I've yet to go further east because there's so much to see and take in before going to other harder map locations. All in all, it is a stroll rather than a marathon. Yeah, that's cool. In all the interactions I've had with other players, 100% of them were positive, ranging from a hello there emoji from a distance all the way to let's make this quest together so I can give you good stuff. And here's this bag too. I'm level 27. I simply do not understand why people diss this game and say players are toxic. In my travels, only encountered something akin to a camaraderie from other vault dwellers that try to rebuild and fix the world like me. That's my comments. Hope you at GameStack continue for a long time because you are my company in work hours. I get really annoyed when I'm interrupted from the immersion you create back into meaningless office bureaucracy. Best wishes for all. See you in Appalachia. Secco2. You know what? They're right. I disagree with. Wait, what was the first thing? Oh no, the last one said it was empty. I never felt that world was empty. But no, they're absolutely right. And I think though that the rose-colored glasses are on whenever you play adventure mode, because I feel like if you're in survival, it'd be a whole different ballgame of death and destruction. I really, really think that if we played survival, it would be a toxic wasteland of death. But I do agree that everyone that I've met really in the adventure world has been absolutely just a peach, and it's been a pleasant time. And he nailed it on his head. It's a different but same Fallout game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is totally different. It's not Fallout, but it is Fallout.
Yeah, I don't know. I like I said it before, and I'll say it again. The people that were against Fallout 76 and had nothing but bad things to say about it really don't deserve to play the game. And so I hope that they've stopped playing because they're just ruining it for everyone. But I'm having a great time playing it, and I enjoy playing it with my friends and hearing all the stories that people have to write into the show. And it's people like us and the people in the WJLG community that breathe life to Fallout 76 because we find positivity in our own experiences, and that's really what it means. People like Andre, what was his name?
5,000.
Andre Samantalis or whatever in Argentina. That's like just decided that he was going to be a wastelander, and you know, sort of this nomad that just takes charity from others. Like, that's cool. That is so cool. Like, I think that's awesome.
I do too. And you know, I thoroughly want private servers. Like, I really hope that they start like talking about private servers. Listen, Bethesda, we want a private server because we want to build a We Just Love Games server.
We want the freedom.
Housing.
Well, the problem, I don't know if private servers will ever be a thing.
I mean,
I don't know if they'll ever be a thing.
But I want persistent housing. You know what I mean? I want.
Well, like the thing is that they are already seeing the phenomenons or the phenomena that that they were hoping to they were hoping the game would achieve through the community
Still.
And so, like, I don't know, I would love to have a private server.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah.
Bethesda. Also, I'm mad that I never got a call back, Mr. Bethesda, but we won't get into that now. You know why? Because that's the end of our show. Vendor, it was an excellent show, right?
Of course it was.
And to make it more excellent, do you have any ending? Do you have any announcements to make?
Well, don't forget, next Friday is GameStack. So, you know, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. You can find Shaline, Rick, and myself right back here at twitch.tv/WeJustLoveGames for another fabulous episode of GameStack Podcast. Don't forget, you can also listen to Shaline's new show, Dames Who Game, which is a standalone podcast that she does. And it's an all-female show about ladies in the gaming community. So don't forget to catch that on your platform that you listen to shows on.
Nice. And you can catch our tweets at That Fallout Show and at We Just Love Games for our network. You can catch my tweets at Rick McVick, Shaline at Shaline L, and at Vendertron in for Mr. Vendor over there. You can also find us on Facebook.com/ That Fallout Show and Facebook.com/groups/ That Fallout Show, as well as our network, Facebook.com/ We Just Love Games and groups/ We Just Love Games. You can email us at info@wejustlovegames.com. Like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is at youtube.com/ We Just Love Games. You can find our show on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, etc., etc. Please leave us a review. We love to hear from you. It means a lot. It means that we're not speaking into a vacuum. Vacuum. We record live every other Friday at 6:30 Mountain, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, I know that there's no echoes and vacuums. Please do not leave comments regarding that. Twitch here at twitch.tv/ We Just Love Games. Thank you so much for listening, folks. We love you. Vendor, what's your last word?
This kitty chair is cutting into my hips.
You know what's funny? Vendor, are you there?
Yeah.
I forgot to move the exit the vault back to the proper file.
So we don't have any sound?
Yeah, no, it's not playing. So I'm gonna do the, you know, I don't know. It's hard to do with one's mouth. There we go.
I gotta let the dog out. He's going crazy.
Goodbye, everybody.